Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wrestle Plug podcast on the YouTube channel. It's time for another one of our vaunted watch-alongs, and this time around we're revisiting my wonderful employer's charity wrestling promotions based in Southampton. And this time we got something very special. If this doesn't impress, nothing will. Carl Wilkinson obviously has joined myself, Aaron Nix, and he will not truly be aware of these two wrestlers. Eddie Ryan versus James Mason. James Mason in particular, I'm particularly excited about watching again. You'll like this because James Mason is proper old school World of Sport style technical wrestler. World class. One of the best in the world. I really believe that. And for those of you who may be watching across the pond who haven't seen James Mason, you're in luck. This man is a clinician. He's beautiful. He's that good. He's facing Eddie Ryan, who's very well known, very well regarded down in the Southwest scene of professional wrestling. Eddie Ryan also had the opportunity to work for NXT UK rather briefly, as does James Mason, who I have it on good authority, actually helps train a lot of the guys and works in the British side of the WWE Performance Center, helping out WWE NXT UK. So obviously you should expect fairly decent things from these boys. Mr. Wilkinson, are you ready to delve into something a little bit more serious? But James Mason can still be quite fun. Watch out for a bit of his more comedic shenanigans.
I'm excited to have my palate cleansed.
Yes, full disclosure, as you will have known from our last watch along, we watched something very, very horrible. But because I know that CWP has a wide and very incredible audience, I will try and resist from using anything too obscenely over the top, although swearing will be involved and is encouraged for anyone watching at home, particularly if you're under the age of 18. I'm kidding. I'm fucking kidding. Okay, but we do swear, so put the kids away. If you think that they're going to find this offensive, or if you are a CWP fan indeed who is part of the family-friendly audience. In 3, 2, 1, play. AB videography. Mate, this is just echoing.
Yeah, but it's space, dude.
It does. It felt like the intro to Red Dwarf. Down, 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 down.
Oh, Eddie Ryan's a Spartan, eh?
Yeah, he's his nickname is the Lion. The Lion Eddie Ryan. So the idea is like British Lion, you know, go on, Britain.
Like Richard the Lionhearted? You know, the guy that led the Crusades?
Yeah, a little bit like that. Although hopefully you won't be murdering as many of my people as possible.
True. Rawr.
Mate, look at the crowd. Raucous.
That's a full up. Oh, look at that wee babe. Enjoying the wrestling at such a young age.
Yeah, it is lovely that like kids of any age can come and watch this. They're in for a real treat if I cut a promo in front of them, that's for sure. Look at that. Don't get me wrong, Eddie Ryan, phenomenal wrestler, but I always found the mask a little off-putting with the cloak. I'll tell you what, he's much more jacked now than he probably was there. This is quite a while back. I think this is 2018, Dawn of a New Era, Volume 1, which you probably saw on the graphic. Yeah, Eddie's filled out probably even more. Little facts about Eddie Ryan, he is now helping train the next generation of wrestlers at Reach Academy, which is a very, very well-regarded wrestling training centre down in the Southwest regions of the United Kingdom. So definitely worth checking out. If you're watching this and you're thinking, hey, I'm from the UK, hey, I'm from the Southwest, and I would like to become a wrestler, probably your best stop will be Reach Academy.
He just shook hands with a baby.
Yeah, I mean, that's as face as he gets. The ironic thing, I can't imagine James Mason as full heel. That just doesn't sit well with me, unless this is going to be like good old jolly face-on-face action. First impressions of Mr. Ryan, Mr. Wilkinson?
I love the gear. I love
you like it?
The gear.
Who's this gobshite on the mic? Hi, Magic. You'll do nothing. Yes, James! Yes, mate! I fucking love James Mason. He's so good. swear down Chris K comes out to this as well. That is adorable. That is like literally the most wholesome thing I've ever seen. There's our boys from WRWR. What do you think about the ring? This is the first time we've seen them wrestle in a coloured ring like this.
I love the like ambient color of the venue. I really like it. I'm sure they'll probably like maybe turn some spotlights on over the ring afterwards, but for this I really like it.
If I'm not mistaken, because the first time I saw it, yeah, it is. It's the Grand Harbour Hotel in Southampton. Now, they're not going to be doing that venue anytime soon, as far as I'm aware. It'll just be the Novotel, which you've seen before, the one with the slightly lower ceiling. But this, for me, is like my idea of a perfect place to wrestle. You know, it's got a warm vibe. It's not too bright. I love how the crowd's singing his entrance music. It's almost on a level with ECW's One Night Stand 2005.
Nah, dude. WrestleMania 29, Fandango.
Oh, we got a little replay screen in the corner. Very fancy. Look at this. Mate, I love this camera angle. See, you could, if you only had one hard cam, that was a good example. Also working cameras. And ladies and gentlemen, courtesy of myself, I'll be working very hard to bring you a very similar experience with what CWP going forward in the near future. Oh, went for the collar around the sides. See how he just slapped it out? Little things like that. And he's a real technician. You'll learn a lot from watching this guy. You can definitely. This is a guy who obviously trained the same kind of way as guys like William Regal, Robbie Brookside, those kind of names. He just does. He's so smooth, and he makes the toughest things. Whoa, hello. Oh, do you remember when people used to do technical wrestling, like 30 years ago? So underappreciated and undervalued. I love well-paced, very kind of, you know, back and forth, cat and mouse, game of chess style wrestling. I think it's so woefully underappreciated.
I mean, was it the Royal Rumble 2003 that was Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit? Was it? It was at the Royal Rumble. I think it was 2003.
Yeah, it does sound. Yes, 2003 sounds about right.
Because that was a technical masterpiece, is what that was.
That was the, I believe Lesnar won it that year, didn't he?
Yes, because Benoit won it in 2004. I mean, no.
Wait a minute.
There was no winner in 2004.
The Big Show eliminated himself in an unfortunate incident that led to nobody winning the Royal Rumble in 2004. Redacted.
Yeah, it was a real awkward time.
See where people like Pete Dunne get their methods from?
Should I break it, he says.
Shall I break it? And then you hear all these kids going, "Yay! Yeah! Break his fingers, Uncle James! Break his fucking fingers!" That used to be my thing when a, unfortunately, now redacted wrestler from the British wrestling scene used to break people's fingers or make it look like he was, and you know who I'm talking about. And I used to just scream at the top of my fucking voice in, like, your call, "Break his fucking fingers!" And then all you hear is snap. It was just... it's just my thing. I'm not a very nice person.
Is it a certain... Oh, look at that hip toss.
Magnifique. Oh, mate, this actually arouses me. It's so good. I couldn't even dream of wrestling this well. No matter how hard I train, I'll never get to this kind of level. And I'm kind of okay with that, because I don't think anyone should be able to top someone as good as James Mason. Lovely. Straight into the hammerlock. Oh, I love that. That was a tap. He tapped out. He's done.
And that was it?
Yeah. Imagine if the ref actually counted that. If you're a referee, how the fuck do you keep up with this? Oh my god, beautiful shoulder block.
Just a couple of big meaty horses slapping each other.
But that's the thing, he's been slapped, right? He's been hit with that shoulder block. But instead of like, get straight up, feed into another one. Actually, he's like getting into the corner, like, whoa, give me some room. You know, because that's what you would do in that kind of scenario. You wouldn't just be like, oh, I guess I'll take 3 more and then leapfrog over him. It doesn't always have to be that way.
Oh, drop toe hold. Oh, the float over.
Mate, James Mason versus Kurt Angle in his prime would be someone else. It really would. James Mason is one of those guys where you think you should literally be world renowned. And he kind of is to aficionados, but to the casual fan, he's not. And I think that's a big shame. I really do. Beautiful. I love that. Tried to use his leg, hook it around the other leg to get Eddie Ryan using his control of the wrist lock to garner more strength. Is that Benjamin Button as the ref? My boy.
I think so.
My boy.
What? Just did a nip up holding the ref's hand. That's blatant bias.
Oh, well, he's going for the disarmer. Seriously, Geezer's not going to have any fingers left by the end of this.
Oh.
As JR would say, the human anatomy is not meant to bend that way. Beautiful.
Thank you for watching WWE Dynamite.
I still think that's like one of my favourite things ever. Working some pressure, trying to apply pressure to the hip flexor, which will obviously slow down Mr. Mason.
I was just gonna say, ref, his shoulders are down. Count it.
There's a lot of shenanigans and talking going on. I love that. One. Hey, hey, hey. It's just simple, so British, so dry. Watch, he's so good at escaping.
And Seguri, kick him in the head. Oh, double leg takedown will work as well.
I'm not going to give out to the ref for the speed because it's very difficult to keep up with guys like this.
Yeah. Sharpshooter?
Oh, what a gentleman. Loving that singlet, by the way. Proper old school classic wrestling.
Classic RVD. It does have like an little airbrushed lightning bolt style to it that I really like.
It just gives me, I just feel warm and happy watching this. There's the leapfrog I was on about.
Oh, I like
nice
that.
drop kick.
Oh.
Well, do you know what? I love hip tosses like that, where they're not smooth. They're not too perfect, you know? Looks like he's proper giving him a judo throw.
You know who had a good hip toss? Santino Marella.
Yeah, but my boy Jim Cornette slapped the shit out of him. Because he would not respect the boogeyman.
Anthony Corelli. Great guy, actually.
I am told he's a very nice guy. Yeah.
Well,
the shows you go to watch are in his Battle Arts Academy.
Yeah.
Doesn't he own that? Yeah. It's an MMA kind of factory, isn't it? It's kind of cool.
Well, I think he just recently sold it, but it's both like martial arts training and wrestling training.
That
and stuff.
sounds like a
It's
good place to go to learn. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. Maintains hold of the wrist lock despite being monkey flipped. Lovely. Still exerting a lot of pressure.
Some joint manipulation.
It's a really lovely opportunity for me to kind of really scout, because I really love calling out the technicalities of things. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to lend my voice very nicely to that when I get the opportunity to call matches. Oh, that nip up was actual perfection. The smooth, it's beautiful. Straight into the knee lift to garner control from the corner.
I could barely do a nip up off a trampoline, bro.
Well, no, he's going for the hurt lock. I don't think they'd accept the hurt lock if you said that at World of Sport. They'd be like, "Oh, what? That, young man, is a full Nelson."
Oh, dude, it's the Mason lock.
The Mason lock. Masterpiece. European uppercut. The classic European uppercut as well. Not the over-the-top fancy ones you see in WWE.
Who doesn't enjoy a good European uppercut?
Beautiful. Counters the European uppercut.
Oh.
Looking for the backslide. Gorgeous. Textbook backslide. Eddie Ryan having to use his full weight to leverage out, which is lovely to see.
Oh, heard that.
Oh, double knees. That's the straight out William Regal's playbook, that is. Lovely. Roll free. He's very close to the ropes. Would like to see you using the ropes there, Mr. Ryan. You're close enough that you would be able to grab them. Shows a lack of ring awareness on your behalf. But I'm sure I don't need to tell you that. You sit there like, this fat Arab's giving out to me about wrestling? Just what the hell happened there? Like, I could understand if it was British rounds, you know, Heritage Cup rules as they call it in NXT UK.
Knee left.
How do you accidentally ring the bell? As a timekeeper, you should be fired for that alone. Tell you what, you get such a tune out if you did that during a match. For me, if I was a booker, I'd be like, if I was a promoter especially, I'd be like, no.
Why are your hands even near it?
Exactly. You got one job. It's to ring a bell.
Oh, some big shoulder tackles in the corner.
Using that big masculine frame to his advantage, Michael. Beautiful rising.
Oh,
hello. Watch the line, Rick. Lovely guy. Oh my God.
What the
just where the fuck does he pull that out? Like, he hasn't done anything. See what I mean? Because he's built to that, you're like, holy shit. Because he hasn't started the fucking match off like it. Which is, I mean, God forbid wrestling in the modern era would do anything like that. Young Bucks, every AEW match. Fuck's sake. Build to your spots. Make it count. Make it worth something. By the way he did it was so smooth. It was like watching an actual cat. It's so good. Oh, go for the gut wrench. Lovely gut wrench.
Oh, I do love me any sort of gut wrench move. Gut wrench suplex, gut wrench power bombs are all really nice.
Love that. If you were sensible, you would put all the weight across the chest. He's trying. Strong bridge.
Nice.
This is Mason. He's like, he loves to play with his food, Mr. Mason.
Oh.
On top.
Oh, I love that spot, man. That always looks so cool.
It shows, it takes an astonishing amount of strength to do that. Did you hear the people chanting "Gay Boy" in the background?
Oh, look
I
at
will
that.
personally, if I go to a show and I hear someone saying that, I'll personally walk up to you and slap you in the fucking face.
The crowd's loving it. Cheeky little slap in the face, eh?
Beautiful. Oh,
missed
you dirty bastard, Eddie Ryan. I'd expect better from a British Lion. Beautiful.
But again,
lovely.
Richard the Lionhearted wasn't a very honourable man.
Mate, his fucking flips, his like kind of headstand flips are beautiful. Oh, mate. This is the smoothest there. Yeah, no, just step right through, counter it into a double knee pin. Beautiful. Oh, using the posterior to its advantage. Gorgeous sunset flip. Well through. Close to the ropes, but this time he's hooked the arms, which makes it much, much more valid.
Oh, shit.
Got him with the counter. Got him. The English Lion captures the win. Rather sneakily, it has to be said, countering the delicious sunset pin from Mr. Mason. And just like that. Very classic British style, though. Do you notice that? We've watched a bit of World of Sport, and there's been quite a few incidents of that where the match is just all of a sudden, boom, done. And that was to create this element of surprise, like it was a genuine contest.
See, that was a gentlemanly
Cheeky
score.
replay. Look at that right there. Gorgeous sunset flip. Hooks the arms nicely. And then uses flips forward. Tries to do like a kind of kip up. And uses that momentum to then get the cover. Very nice. Very, very nice.
This felt really good to watch after the last few that we've had.
How nice to watch real wrestling. Definitely one of the high points of a very, very effective promotion.
That kid was having none of it.
I was going to say, I think that kid was like, I'm going for a slash. And James Mason's like, you want to fight? Not really, I just want to have a piss. But James Mason is, I mean, you can see why I love him just from watching that. Great
A gentleman's gentleman.
He is a gentleman's gentleman. You know, British wrestling has thrived because of people like James Mason. Your thoughts on that incredibly fluid and professional contest from Charity Wrestling Promotions?
Yeah, I gotta. One more week. One more week and I'm allowed to travel.
One more week. Yes, indeed. Mr. Wilkinson is fully vaccinated. Let us know what you think in the comments below, guys. Let us know if you'd like us to carry on covering more of the British independent stuff. If you watched that before, do you know what? That was a fantastic. I mean, frankly, if you didn't watch that and think it was fantastic, you obviously don't get wrestling, and that's fine. I understand that. Or you're just here to watch me lose my shit over horrible backyard wrestling, in which case, tune in a couple of weeks. But yeah, no, for me, just a beautiful reminder of how good British wrestling can be, and also how simple wrestling can be sometimes. Doesn't have to be ridiculously over the top. With good training and with good work ethic, anyone could probably put on a match to that kind of standard with enough time and enough effort. And that's a really good inspiration for someone like me who is in training, who is working incredibly hard despite illnesses and things, is that I watch that and think, okay, I'm probably not going to be able to do a kip up to that level, or the bridge to a certain extent like that. But there was a lot of stuff there that I know I'm more than capable of doing athletically. And that's what makes wrestling very cool, is when it can be accessible like that, but you still know that you would have to work incredibly hard to get to that kind of standard, whether you were training to be a wrestler or not. Let us know what you thought. James Mason versus Eddie Ryan. From myself, Aaron Nix, and for Carl Wilkinson, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you very soon for more CWP content from the Wrestle Plug. One time for our boy James Mason. Hoorah! Watto, sir. Jolly good. Yes. What a
Righto.
rippingly good chap he is.